just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught in the middle of life, and I need.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, your brother, and your friend Rashid, and I'd like to thank you all for joining me on another edition of the most powerful platform for truth, bar none, on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification. This is the Red Pill Diaries. And once again, let me say thank you all for joining me as we wait for our reoccurring guest, Larry. As soon as I said it, right on cue, Larry pops in the booth, right on cue. I got to pull him up. Okay, everybody. How is it going, my friend?
Yeah, I didn't want to leave you hanging, brother.
Hey, Larry, you got an article out, 1 minute to midnight.
Yeah.
Could you, for those who have not read it, because I think Sonar 21 may be one of the best blogs, period, out on the web. So I want you to tell the people who have not read that article what you're talking about.
Yeah. We are likely within the next 48 hours to start an attack on Iran. So it is, we've loaded the gun, we've cocked the hammer, and all we got to do now is have Trump presses the trigger.
Well,
so, you know, this, we had the talks in Geneva on Tuesday, and that its ability to continue to kill the Palestinians will be extremely limited. And so it'll give some respite to the Palestinians.
Well, what about Turkey? Because I know someone told me that the chief of staff or the commander of the RGC visited different areas in the region to warn them about the use of their bases if the United States attacked, and that Iran would not hold any punches. I'm striking. What about Turkey? Because we know that the United States controls the 1 or 2 NATO bases in Turkey. Will Iran strike that? Because they did tell Azerbaijan that they would strike Azerbaijan.
Yeah, well, they may hit Azerbaijan, or they may hit Yerevan, Armenia. They're not going to go after Turkey, because I don't think Turkey's cooperating. I don't think Turkey's allowing Incirlik to be used by the U.S. for this attack. Jordan, though, is. Now, there's a big assumption on the part of the U.S. military that they have sufficient air defense around the Muwaffiq, I think is how they pronounce it.
And why are the people that are intelligent, that are paid to do this job, what you're talking about, why are they being ignored by Trump and his staff?
Well, the point is that there may be analysts as good, if not better than I am, but the problem is this: they're not listened to, and the system's not set up to encourage dissenting voices. It's very much like there's peer pressure to conform to the party line, and I've seen that. I've been involved both in government. I've seen it, and I've seen it outside of government. So, if that the talks are achieving anything of substance, then I know some believe that Russia might make some sacrifices or concessions on territory. I don't think. Absolutely not. I think if they tried to do that, Putin would be removed. The military would not. They're not going to stand for that for a second. And I think, there's some division in Russia, and buying silver and gold. The era of U.S. economic and military dominance is over, and I think we got a preview of that decline with the failure in the Red Sea to achieve the military objectives that were set forth with that Operation Rough Rider. Now we're going to see the culmination of that in the attempts to try to coerce a regime change in Iran. And it's going to be, I think the blowback on the United States will be very significant.
Thank you, my friend, for joining me, and thank you for giving me the time. I'll send you the video in a few minutes.
All right, brother. Hey, appreciate it. Thanks.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Everybody, bye-bye. Everybody, listen, as I was saying to you all, I always thought that this thing would go regional. I've been saying that for years. Go check my track record. I've been saying this well, everybody was focused on other stuff. I kept telling you that there will be a war in the region, and I called it the MENA, M-E-N-A war, the Middle Eastern North African war. I said it will be regional. When they attack Persia, this will be a regional conflagration, and this would mark the end of America and the UK's power in West Asia. You've heard it being confirmed by former CIA analyst Larry Johnson. So when I was saying this on the fringes for the last 5, 10 years, 15 years, I know it seemed like that I was out of pocket, but now fast and you can do other stuff. But it's quite another thing when you have a responsibility for children and there's no food in the stores or no food at home. Then it forces people to be very, very outside of their character, where they have to do things that they don't normally do to try to preserve their children's lives. So what I'm telling you is prepare. Get yourself right mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, because these are times of tribulation. Do right by others, not because there's some material gain to be had, but do right by others because it's the right, the humane, and the godly thing to do. Because remember, when no one else is watching you, God Almighty is watching you. And as my great, beautiful, wonderful, and late mother would always say, God sits high on the throne of power, but he looks low at the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, freedom, justice, and equality. But know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that the true and living God has for you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember to stay righteous. And everybody, please read some of the articles over on Patreon. Also, feel free to like and subscribe and join all of the platforms. And if you would, please become a channel member. That would really help out, and because they're killing me with taking my subscribers and everything. So please help me out, guys, in any way, shape, form, and fashion. I love you all. I'm out of here.
Told you to walk away. That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost.